it looks like that we will be able to this year, what steps are you going to take to make sure that your city is safe no matter what?
And I was clear when I rolled out my blueprint to end gun violence that there were many rivers that fed the sea of violence, and we have to dam each one of them. And we're going to continue to roll out a clear plan of what we can do within our span of control here in the city. The commissioner announced she'll be rolling out putting on the street our anti-gun unit using precision policing. We're going to focus on precision resources, our partnership with our crisis management team. We laid out our whole agenda. We want our outside entities, the state and the feds, to look at what we stated and hopefully join us in that. But regardless of what happens outside the city, I have to keep New Yorkers safe. That is my obligation. The buck stops with me.
More police officers.
We're going to maintain, right now we're at 35,000, roughly that figure. We're going to do, number one, before we bring on an additional police officer, we're going to look at who we have. Why do I have police officers that are sitting doing clerical duties? So once we bring our officers back to patrol, we could do a real analysis of how many officers we need, and we're going to do something else. Better deployment with our manpower. How are we utilizing the manpower? Are they at the optimum level that we deserve? And no matter what we have to do, in the number of police officers, I'm going to make sure we have the right number of officers to keep our city safe. That's my primary obligation and responsibility.
I know that you said congratulations on being blessed with a surplus as much as you have. You did say and made it clear in your presentation that spending right doesn't always necessarily mean spending more. At the same time, if you are contemplating adding police officers and giving the department a little bit more financial leeway to do what you need to do to keep the city safe, what I didn't see was any sort of specific number towards that. Can you give us, in terms of dollars or percentage-wise, how much more the police department will get to do the job that you think they need to do?
No. Next.
Matt? No, I got off topic. I'm sorry. Okay. Julia.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor. So what would you allocate to new technology for police work, and what are you looking at as far as improving the technology that they have?
We have to do a better job. I'm a big believer in using facial recognition correctly within the confines of the law. I'm a big believer in that we have technology out there that can define now if people are carrying a gun, we should use that. We should not leave any legal stone unturned to utilize technology to make New Yorkers safe. Other countries are using smart technologies to do so, and we're going to do that. We're not going to be intrusive and abusive with that technology. My chief technology officer and the deputy mayor of public safety, they are charged on my behalf to go out and find that technology, and I'm open to making sure the investment is right, that we get the safety that we deserve by using that technology.
Hi, Mayor.
How are you?
We haven't seen the line items yet. Is the NYPD budget growing, or is it getting smaller, or is it staying flat?
Based on our preliminary look, the budget is going to be basically flat. There may be a slight decrease in the next few months, but it's basically going to remain flat. That's the number one concern right now, public safety. And I know that in previous years, people call for defunding police. I think that when we build out my overall plan and start to see them kick into gear of what I'm going to do to prevent crime, we're going to reach a place that we won't have to spend as much as we're dealing with the emergency that we're facing. But I'm not going to do anything that's going to get in the way of keeping New Yorkers safe, dealing with the proliferation of guns, and stop the violence that we're witnessing in our city. How are you?
Good, how are you? Good. How much money did you set aside for labor negotiations? And can you give us, excuse me, an update on how that's going? I know a number of contracts are expiring or recently have expired or about to expire.
We did something that was very important for those of you who continuously watch the budget. We had this make-believe $500 million in cost savings of labor. I was clear with my OMB director, we're not doing those games. Let's take that money out. We know that there are no cost savings that's there in labor. We took that $500 million out. We still have contracts that we have to negotiate. That is why we are proud to have over $6 billion in our reserve. We don't know the unexpected climate as we go to the tables and start negotiating our union contracts. I want my city employees who are predominantly black and brown women that are civil servants to be paid a fair salary, but at the same time, we must be conscious of taxpayers' dollars. And so, yes, we are understanding that we have contracts we have to negotiate, and that is going to be factored in to the decisions that we're going to make.
Mr. Mayor, enrollment in schools in the Department of Education is declining. That's led to an increase in the budget. I'm wondering, you mentioned the PEG reductions in headcount. If you could talk a little bit about where you see those across agencies, and if you see there being kind of a right sizing of DOE personnel, particularly given the enrollment numbers that we're seeing.
Good point. Good question. First, we paid for those decrease because there was a lot of uncertainty in 2021. We did it also in, I think, even 2020. And so now we're heading into 2022. It's time to right size. In 2022, we're going to look at the exact head counts. We're hoping that there's a level of confidence. Number one, we want all those folks who are living in Florida to, come on back to the city. This is their city. We want them back here, and we believe we're going to get the enrollment counts up. The name of the game, if we ensure this city is safe, you're going to see a massive return to the city. That's the number one thing I hear from those who have left the city, and it's crucial that we do so. And then we will make the adjustment if those numbers don't get back up to the proper head count.
Yoel.
Mr. Mayor, one of your major asks in Albany was funding for more mental health. And I'm wondering, does this budget put any additional city funds towards that? If so, how much and how many beds? And what other mental health initiatives have you expanded or new initiatives are funded in the budget?
So there's a couple of things. Number one, I'm happy to hear that the state, they heard our request for help. We repurposed psychiatric beds to have those who are dealing with COVID. That was something that we did during a period of emergency. Now they are going to repurpose those beds back to those who are dealing with mental health crisis. That's crucial for us. And we're going to take a more thoughtful approach that we've witnessed, particularly in street homelessness. I've said for some time now, it was a big mistake to ignore street homelessness on our subway system, on our streets. That is not the direction I'm going into. I'm moving to getting those who are living on the streets the support they need. We're ending the era of tents. We're ending the era of sleeping on our subway system with all your belongings. That era has ended in the city, but at the same time, we want to have additional help and giving people the mental health that they need, and that is why we want to repurpose how we're spending the dollars. All of this is going to be flushed out in the budget. This is a preliminary budget. 7 weeks into the administration, the team knows what the initiatives are, and we're going to flush out exactly what we're going to do in that area.
Mr. Mayor, could you square the circle around keeping the police department budget flat as shootings are up by double and homicides are up by 75%?
There's no circle to square. My police commissioner know my charge. They know what they're doing. They understand that the better deployment. This is what I said for a long time, Nolan, that how we deploy our resources. Taxpayers deserve a better product. You can't have hundreds of police officers doing clerical duties when, as you said, shootings are up. We're seeing every major crime, we're seeing increases. Every man and woman must be on deck with the mission of the police department. I'm not going to taxpayers and say, let's spend more of your money when I'm not doing a good job in the agency with what they gave us already. We're going to redeploy our manpower. We're going to make sure that everyone who is supposed to be on the streets doing their job, they're doing their job. Then we will make the analysis if we have to put more money into it.
So
like the critique of the previous administration's management of the police department is they were throwing money at it and not getting results. Is that fair?
Nope. What's the only thing that's fair is that, as Helen Keller stated, that the only thing worse than not having sight is to have sight and not vision. I'm a visionary.
Hi, Mr. Mayor, I have a question for you about fair fares. The applicants pointed out two flaws with that program right now. It's not enough awareness. About only a third of the people who could apply have applied, and that the income threshold for federal poverty level is too low. Do you support raising that threshold, and how will you make more New Yorkers aware of fair fares than previously?
Great question. This is one of the failures of New York City. We expect people to come to government to find out about the resources. And then we advertise in our own little circles. We talk to each other. Those days are over. I'm partnering with the speaker, and I take my hat off to Adrienne, Councilwoman Adrienne Adams. We're going out to New Yorkers and telling them the benefits that are available to them. Now, let's be clear. There's never been a time that we spent more than $49 million into fair fares. We're bringing it up to over $70 million. We're getting it right. And we're going to continue to analyze the need. You're talking about putting money back into the pockets of New Yorkers. $2.75 per swipe. When you add that in two fare zones, you're talking about a serious dollar amount that can pay the meals for a family or a household. And so our goal is, number one, to baseline this. It has never been done before, and to increase the dollar amount and to make sure we go out to New Yorkers and use our partnerships of grassroots organizations to let people know about this and get a better accessibility of it.
The income threshold is the same for Mississippi as it is for Manhattan. Is that right, or should it be higher?
That's something that we're going to evaluate and discuss, and that's part of what we're going to do in our executive budget if we need to do so. We want to reach as many New Yorkers as possible.
Mr. Mayor, given that we haven't seen the full budget plan yet, can you tell us anything about whether or not you are planning to change the way that Mayor de Blasio allocated the $13 billion in federal aid that New York City is receiving from the way that he had planned to spend it, a lot of it on 3K and other big ticket items?
Well, the goal of the budget was to, as I stated in my speech, was to really go at the underlying reasons that we're seeing the institutional poverty and inequality in this city. And I take my hat off to former Speaker Corey Johnson and folks like Councilwoman Adams to put a pause on just the spending that took place. Remember, we're going to lose this stimulus that's from the federal government. We're not going to continue to have it. So we have to get it right in 2022 and lay the foundation for 23 and fiscal years 23 and 24. So we're going to examine the dollars we have remaining to spend and make sure that we're spending correctly. Would I have done some things differently? Yes. But we have to look at what's in front of us right now. But we want to invest in those long-term things. Pre-K was a success. It was the right thing to do. Drilling down in education is the right thing to do. Using those infrastructure dollars to build is the right thing to do, but we have to also attach to that a real job plan so we can hire locally. So we're examining how to best use the last of these stimulus dollars and then encouraging the feds. We got to get Build Back Better. That bill, we need it for the billions that can go into NYCHA. They're dealing with a $40 billion capital deficit. So we need to get as much help as we could possibly do. But I want to be clear on this. Regardless of the help we get, the buck stops with me. I have to take what we have, run an efficient city, and this city can run better than what we have witnessed.
Amanda, and then Henry.
Mr. Mayor, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. So your budget address didn't really focus on COVID or really talking about preparation for a next great crisis, whether it's another pandemic or something like antibiotic resistance. I want to know specifically of why you're focusing on recovery, and from what I'm hearing, that's where a lot of the money and focus is being spent on versus looking at how we can get out of the pandemic fully and working to make sure that we're not hit as badly next time something like this happens.
It's called $6 billion in reserve. You know, it's called having the pegs and tell everyone we have to do better to prepare for the uncertainties of the future. And I see myself not in crises. I see myself out of crises. And the best thing we can do, to deal with COVID is get back to work. People have to get back to work, you know, and, you know, we have to see this as we're in this together. Yes, if you are an accountant, a CPA, yes, you can work from home. But what happens if we lose the low-wage employees? That's going to impact your business. This is a circle. And so, you know, I'm hearing people often say that, you know, hey, Eric, you're not, you know, focused on COVID. I'm like, what are you saying? What are you saying? We have masterfully kept our schools open, brought down rates inside our schools so that parents can go to work. We have pushed the vaccine mandates, 75%. This has been the first 7-week average since November of less than 1,000 cases. This has been unbelievable, the success we've had around COVID. We took a crisis and thoughtfully ensured that the right leadership to do the right things to get our city back up and operating. New Yorkers did their job, vaccinated, boosters, taking testing. Now I need them to do one more job, go back to their job. Let's get our city up and operating.
Mr. Mayor, good afternoon. You talked about mental health a little bit, and it's still being fleshed out. Do you plan on doing new vision work through the Mayor's Office of Mental Health, formerly known as Thrive, which was criticized for not tracking its spending over the years? And will that budget be similar to the $200 million it got last year?
Here's where we're going with our new office, street homelessness. That's a focus we must look at. Street homelessness, and then we want to create partnerships to help those who are dealing with areas of depression and other issues around mental health crises. And then we need to go beyond. We have sat down with leaders in this field across the country. Using telemedicine could also be used during mental health crises. We don't do that. We are afraid to think differently. And so our focus is going to be focusing a lot on street homelessness, where the crisis is, because if we get that right, we deal with some of the crimes, some of the assault, some of the people who are dangerous to themselves and others. That is our huge focus, and we're going to rethink how we use that office, and I'm excited about the team that we're putting together to address it.
Chris, and then we're going to take a few off topic.
Thank you. Mr. Mayor, you mentioned I hope we'll get some off topic, but anyway.
So you want two questions. You want on topic and off topic.
I'll start on two.
Okay.
So you mentioned in your speech earlier that the city has record amounts of reserves. At the same time, your administration is requesting $19 billion in additional bonding power from Albany. Why is that if you have record levels of reserves?
Jack, can you feel like handling it?
Yeah, these are two different issues. The reserve is for operations, whereas the request that we have in Albany is to fund a capital program. So two different things.
Okay. How do you mean two different things?
The reserve is coming out of the operations, at the expense budget. Okay. The request that we have in Albany is asking Albany to raise the bonding authority for TFA, which is the Transitional Finance Authority, is basically to fund the capital program, not to fund operations. Okay?
All right, so let's do a few off topic. Let's start with Liz.
This is actually on topic. So the city has this great testing infrastructure. It put in a vaccine mandate for the private sector. What else does the city need to do, or what else can the city do to incentivize private workers to come back to the office if they're comfortable working in their PJs and they feel that they're productive at home? What can the city do? Is there some kind of incentive they could dangle in front of these companies? What are the conversations you're having with CEOs?
I met with my CEOs today. We had about 100 online. We meet with our small businesses and we meet with our corporations. And the message is clear. Number one, I need for them to help with 30,000 jobs with summer youth employments. Number two, we can't send mixed messages. We can't keep kicking the can down the road. We want you to come back in January. No, come back in February. No, come back in March. It's time. It's time. And then we have to be very clear so that people can understand if you are an accountant and you're staying home and it impacts that local diner, that local restaurant, it's going to impact you. Eventually, you're going to lose your clients. Because if our restaurants close, if our small businesses close, who's going to give you the business? So I think that many of us are believing that we can stay home and not impact our financial ecosystem. No, we're connected. New York City can't run from home. We're all connected. We need that cab driver operated. We need our tourism industry boosted. 70% of our hotel occupancy are business travelers. If no one is coming in, those hotels are going to be impacted. So who's going to give that account in the business? And so what I need my CEOs to do, and I shared with them today, is time to tell the employees, like I believe Microsoft just acknowledged and others, it's time to get back to work.
Time frame?
The time frame is now. I'm going to work. Now is the time for us to get back. And so I'm hoping within the next few weeks, the CEOs map out a real plan of this is when you need to come back. And there's certain companies that are open already and that have been really pushing through this COVID crisis. But I cannot be any clearer. We need people back to work.
Mr. Mayor, the commissioner of the NBA today suggested that perhaps you would change the rules so a player like Kyrie Irving can play. Would you consider changing the rules, and if so, when?
First of all, I think the rule is unfair. I believe that we are saying to out-of-town athletes that they can come in and not be vaccinated. Yet New York athletes, you have to be vaccinated. And they also do this for entertainers. I want people to know that. Entertainers can come here without being vaccinated and perform. I think it's unfair. And I'm not sure if a Boston fan created this rule. I don't know. But I am really, really leery about sending the wrong message. Having this city closed down again keeps me up at night. And the message was put in place, the rule was put in place. To start changing it now, I think it would send mixed messages. So I'm struggling with this, just to be honest with you.
Maybe yes, no, maybe so. All right, we gotta go to that.
How are you doing?
You talked about the different streams that affect clients in New York City.
Yes.
How much does it hurt your plan to lose the war on one of those streams when it comes to bail reform? And also, you talked about Kendra's Law before you were elected mayor. Is that going to be one of your tools to address street homelessness?
Let's first talk about that stream. We need to dam every river that feeds the sea of violence. And I believe that. But I can only do those things within my span of control. I don't dictate what happens in other areas of government. And listen, our founders of this great country, they made sure that one area does not control all the areas. I just can continue to advocate. And I believe in the long run that my conversation with the speaker and the majority leader, we're in the same place that we need to be safe. And we're going to continue to negotiate on how to accomplish that. And I'm not going to give up since we're both at that place of being safe, I think we're going to find a resolution to this. And I'm excited about the possibilities.
Yesterday, you detailed the lack of diversity in the media. Can you detail the mechanism where that affects how you are covered?
Yes, but two things. Number one, my staff would tell you, I say what I say, and I don't sleep on it. I don't live on it. I don't live in it. You know, there's nothing personal I have against anyone, But I'm going to be very clear on my expectations. And it's nothing personal. And, you know, I think of some of the people I have in the media. I think Josh from the Daily News editorial board, I think he's a solid guy. You know, they disagree with me. And who has been more kinder outside of Nolan to me than the Post? You know, so this is not attacking. I don't know when I come to a platform and don't say, hello, Marsha. And everyone knows I adore you. So this is what this is about. That sometimes I think we don't realize it. I went to the fashion show on Sunday, and the fashion industry realized that they were discriminatory towards women based on their body type. And finally, they're allowing women to model. They were discriminatory towards hair texture. They were discriminatory towards people behind the scene. We are at a place that we have to ask ourselves, if everyone is not around the table, then are we really getting different views from everyone? That's what this is about. And if I'm just a black mayor that is just going to go through the motion and say, oh, you know what, I got elected, and not use this platform to go after the systemic inequities, I know what T.Y. Chan went through as a Chinese reporter. I know what my African-American reporters are going through. I don't see reporters that's from the Sikh community. We had to diversify this, and it's a painful conversation. I know people would say, you know, well, oh, he said he has the only black reporters. Listen, fine. Just as a black NFL coach says, we need to start allowing black coaches. Everyone is becoming conscious, and either we can drag everyone along, or we can sit down together and say, listen, let's look at these inequities and change the way we're doing business. And I'll be darned if I'm going to remain silent because it's painful. Pain brings growth.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. The CDC last month published a study based on California and New York data that showed natural immunity during Delta to be far superior to vaccine immunity. Why is the city still not recognizing natural immunity when in lieu of vaccines for things like restaurants and concerts?
And this is saying when you are exposed that you build natural immunity? Listen, I sent that over. Someone sent me a report. I looked through it. And based on what I read, there was something interesting here. And I sent it over to my deputy mayor of health and mental hygiene. I said, listen, can we take a look at this? Is this true? What he came back with is that the vaccines allow a longer period of strengthening your immune system than the natural immunity. That's what he came back with, but I told him I need him to study this. I need to find out if this is a viable option, and if it is a viable option, we need to revisit it.
Even if that was true, why wouldn't they accept natural immunity for the period that they believe it does last?
Listen, he's going to come back with the information. I'm going to follow the science, and I believe let's deal with the facts, and if the facts states that, then we need to have that conversation. But now here's the danger. If we're saying the natural immunity has a shorter period of time, if it's substantial, and you say we're going to allow it for that long, then you're saying every time someone goes to a restaurant, we're going to test them to see if that natural immunity is still present. That just doesn't make sense. Now, can't stay here, okay? I heard you. He's looking at it, and I'll hunt you down and give you the results of what he says.
Juliet, last question.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, how did the meeting last night with the drill rappers come about, and what's your takeaway from that?
It was the first time they were in the meeting of the CAL, you know, that these young men and women was sitting inside. I don't know if you saw the picture, but for the first time in my life, I looked cool, hanging out with all of them. And it was very interesting because I don't know who said it, but they said, we heard you were going to ban drill rapping. I did not say that. You know, I was very clear on what I stated. And they came in with a lot of energy of, you know, here's the 62-year-old guy that don't understand young people and you want to destroy it. And I let them talk. And then I told them what I said, that violent people who are using drill rapping to post who they killed and then antagonize the people who they are going to kill is what the problem is. And they heard me, and we're going to be rolling out something in the next few days to deal with this issue. It was a great conversation. I was happy to have them there. Nolan. I got you. What's the question, Nolan?
The question pretty simply is if you walk into room 9, you'll see the walls covered with front pages of city newspapers.
Yes.
One said, please take our mayor, about your predecessor. Another said, I'm not a crook.
Yes.
You ran for mayor knowing what the coverage was going to be like. You
Yes.
got pretty milquetoast coverage about your visit in Albany. And you came up and you called the press corps racist in a 6-minute speech. What did you expect?
I don't recall one time saying the press corps was racist. Not once. I want you to go back and listen to what I said yesterday and see if I used the term racist at all. I want you to do that. This is exactly what I'm talking about. When you hear something comes from my mouth, you use the predisposition of your life to interpret what I say. And then when I express something based on my observation, it's called a rant. Eric is ranting. I am trying to help you, Nolan. I want you to grow. I want you to be kinder. I want you to be emotional intelligence, not to feel that everyone is trying to attack you. If you go and speak to some of your colleagues and ask them what are their feelings in your institution, let them tell you. Don't listen to me. Let them tell you what they're saying. I never called the press corps racist. That has never come out my mouth. But since you heard me say something that you didn't agree with, you interpreted it for me. I'm sure you didn't think I was saying the press corps was racist. I'm sure others. Oh, it's in the paper. It's in the paper. Go look at the tape.
I have the transcript right here, Mr. Mayor.
And the tape.
I typed it because City Hall is still not sending out transcripts. And what you said is, I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to say it out of hate. I'm going to say it out of love. I'm a black man that's the mayor, and my story is being interpreted by people that don't look like me. And that was your response to stories that simply were about, you went to Albany seeking concessions from lawmakers. You did not score those concessions. The Jets go to Foxborough, get shut out. We say the Jets lost. We wrote stories saying you went to Albany trying to get key parts of your crime plan approved by Andrew Stewart Cousins and Carl Heastie, and you didn't get it, and we wrote stories that said you lost. I mean, what's the difference?
Nolan, can I ask you a question? Would you be honest? Did I use the term racist?
Well,
Nolan, stay with me. Did I use the term racist?
Well, how about this?
No, Nolan, no. This is a simple question. Did I use the term racist? Come on, Nolan. You're not even willing to admit when you were inaccurate. Did I use the term racist? Okay, I'm not asking any more questions. Yeah. Thank you.